wrapping up day 2 here at IBS 2022. PJ is here with DJ, and we're going to dive into some stories around, I guess, how we even stumbled across getting into doing things like podcasts and videos and
it's
media
crazy
and all sorts of stuff. So start with you. How, tell us a little background.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, so I'm a home builder, right? That's what I do for a living. It was a family business. I was in and out of the corporate world in my 20s and 30s. That's a very long story. You can listen to one of Nick Schiffer's podcasts and get the whole rundown. But yeah, I don't know. I was in the corporate world kind of doing the grind. And because I had contracting in my blood, because that's my family business, I decided to buy a house and renovate it and sell it kind of on the side because I couldn't get ahead of college bills. I just couldn't get ahead of $120,000 college debt. So I started my business with one on the side and paid off half my college debt in the first house. And then fast forward 7-8 years now, I'm got a pretty big staff and I'm a custom home builder on the South Shore of Massachusetts. But what's interesting is this entertainment angle, the podcasting and the television. So about 4 years ago, I decided to pursue my love for being on camera. I'd spent a lot of time on camera through my 20s, and I went to video television school in college.
So you've got a face for video. I have a face for podcasts, so that's why I choose to do the podcast.
I don't know if it's that good, but it's getting the job done. So, but yeah, so I decided that I wanted to pursue it seriously, and so I was trying to get picked up by a major network as a host on a home show, and it just wasn't really going anywhere. So I decided to just start my own show, which is kind of crazy.
A little daunting,
yeah. And so I shot for a day and, ended up getting some airtime on a local network, sold some sponsorships, and then all of a sudden overnight I had a TV show, which was nuts. I mean, it's much more complicated than that, and we're doing a short interview here, so we can't get into the nitty gritty, but so that turned into the show, and now we're producing season 5 of Heart of Oak, and it airs on NECN in New England, NBC Sports Boston, Philly, DC. It's on Glued TV Online. We're working on a deal with a cruise line right now because we own 46 episodes, so we're trying to sell it. I've never made money on it.
Yeah, but you're throwing stuff out there. It's kind of like us with the podcast. Sometimes you got to throw stuff up against the wall to see what sticks. So
yeah, and so coincidentally, we actually started a podcast. It's called Half in the Tool Bag, and we drink beers and we talk about business, and it's purely for enjoyment. Like, we just do it for fun.
Right.
And I don't know about you, but I've learned so much about my business and myself just talking about it with other people on the podcast.
Yeah.
It's actually super beneficial for us.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Do you find the same?
We do. I mean, and that's really the premise of our podcast is the collaboration angle. It's, there's so many people out there that have stumbled, fallen down, figure stuff out, and they're willing to share it as well. And man, if you can hear something like that, maybe before you do it, or you have that same struggle, that's invaluable.
Yeah. So for me, the show is a double-edged sword. Number one, it's really enjoyable to me. And I left the corporate world to do what I enjoy, and that's building homes and now produce a TV show. And they go hand in hand. And now what's happened is I've created a brand around it. And so one doesn't survive without the other any longer. But so that's one, is that it's self-fulfilling. And I also support a staff of 6 people there and help them become better employees and better people through work. And that's great. I mentor people. But then the other side is having people learn from our show and knowing that people enjoy the show is really self-fulfilling. It's like, okay, all this hard work is not for nothing. Like, people pull me aside in Starbucks all the time and say, oh, my son loves it. He loves to watch it. He's really into construction now. We had the South Shore Votech School work on a project in the show, and now we ended up hiring one of those guys. And so we're starting to influence the younger demographic, which is like a huge benefit. It's awesome.
It's very huge. I mean, and that's, getting the right message out so people that can see this sort of stuff. It's very powerful, and that's why we do what we do too. I mean, that's the rewarding part, is that if you feel like you can give some benefit, somebody can get something out of what you're doing. That's huge.
That's a home run, yeah. And again, the show makes money. but we just keep dumping it into itself, right? Because hopefully down the road we'll get picked up or we'll sell the episodes to a network or something and we'll make money on it. But really for me, it's more of it's a really expensive hobby.
It's a really expensive hobby.
Yeah. and it's really enjoyable and it gets me, it gets me on camera, which I love. And I'm able to leverage it to create more business for my business. And it's a great marketing tool.
Oh, that's cool, man. Congrats on what you've done with it. That's great.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, I'll be honest, like I've got a staff of, 17 people between both businesses now. And without those people, I wouldn't be anywhere close to where I am right now. Everybody somehow believes in my crazy ideas.
Well, that's good, man. You got some folks that, that sounds like they're definitely supportive of you and probably help you get stuff done, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you a little bit about how I got into this. And I've been a builder, remodeler all my life. I've been involved in every aspect of it. I've gone from the guy that was stacking lumber to the guy that learned how to actually frame some stuff, and from cabinetry, painting. There's nothing I really haven't done. And, with those skills, why don't I go ahead and start my own business, first as a subcontractor and then becoming owning my own business. And, then you start to put the hats on. And, all right, well, now I've got that part of it down, but now I've got to take time to estimate and sell. And now I've got to get some HR skills. And
I was
got to
about to
hire
say, now
people.
you got to do human resources.
It never ends as a business owner. And I got to the point where it's almost like not that I wasn't really passionate about building, but the excitement of it was, I noticed something was missing a little bit. And for me, what it was is I realized that what was exciting me was giving opportunity to other people. Like as I would put people on my team.
Totally.
If I could train somebody to sell, if I could train somebody to be a good project manager, that to me was really beneficial. Fast forward that, I kind of have gotten my business to the point where I've got a fantastic team. They're doing work, frankly, better than I can do it, but I am there as that kind of layer of support and leadership to help them even grow and have more opportunities. So,
how many employees do you have?
Right now I think we're right at 10, I think.
Okay,
yep.
Similar size.
Yeah, and we do custom homes and remodeling, but I also are involved in some coaching and consulting and some other things. Then last year had started the podcast, and for me what it was about, I collaborate a lot, and I've seen so many builders, remodelers, tradespeople put in 25, 30 years of their life, get to the end and they're stressed out, they're pulling a hair out of the head. They have really, they made a good living, but they have nothing in their business. Nobody wants it.
You are describing my dad to a T.
I mean, that's the industry. That's what we've done. So it doesn't have to be that way. And that's really was the premise of the podcast, was how can we gather all of the people that you see on the board, and people like yourself, tell your story, tell stories of, the problems you had, how you solved it, instead of business owners sitting there trying to figure this stuff out on their own. Collaborate with people. Collaborate with the people that have figured it out. That's where the power is. The most successful people, that's what they're doing. They're collaborating with others. So that's the whole premise of the podcast. Get people on, tell stories, share stories, and it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a very similar trajectory to me. I think how long have you been in business with your own company?
My own company coming up on 25 years now.
Yeah, so you're well ahead of me. I'm in the middle of still trying to figure out how to manage these people.
Oh yeah, for
right,
sure.
Which is not easy, and it's a big learning curve.
It's a big learning curve.
And it's you eat humble pie every day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like you think you got to figure it out, and then you don't.
Nope, and just don't. Yeah. The big thing is don't stop learning. Continue to push yourself and try new things and keep building a team. That's the thing. People are key. That's what I've really found, especially this last year with all the conversations I've been having with people, have found that as a business owner, that is truly your sole responsibility and highest and best use is to keep creating opportunities for other people.
Yeah, I'm definitely struggling a bit. Like yes, you nailed it. People see what I've built, what we've built, my wife and I and my team, and we're very successful in the outsider's perspective, but to get to this point has been a grind.
It's a grind.
And every day I'm beating myself up trying to figure out how to do better.
Yeah.
And that's why I love it.
And that's why I love it. But to my point too, don't, keep continuing to reach out and collaborate with other people that have pulled things off and been successful. And
Totally.
it's the biggest step saver out there.
Well, when you're ready to do a bigger conversation, let me know. But I'm super happy you had me on, and I'm excited to
we'd
be
love to have
sitting
you
in
on
the
for
seat.
an actual full-blown podcast. We'll do that down the road. And then same thing, if I can help you out in any way, we'll do it.
Yeah, sounds good, man. Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers.